Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Yvonne Kamanga, and I'm presenting my research findings on the topic Effect of Parity on Egg Weight, Egg Number, and Hatchability in Malawian local chickens. Just to remind you of the characteristics of local chickens, they generally have low productivity in the sense that they lay small-sized eggs and they have slow growth rate. But on the other hand, they perform better under local free-range scavenging conditions, where breeding is random with no selection. And the common phenotypes that are found in Malawi include Kachibudu, Chipurusa, Tumba, and so on and so forth. Just to define some terms that have been used in this report often, like parity is the number of hatches that a chicken has given, while a hatch simply means a chick emerging from an egg, and a clutch is a group of eggs laid in a single session. While hatchability is a function of chicks hatched over the total number of eggs that were laid. And incubation is it simply means sitting on the bird's eggs in order to hatch them. Farmers commonly raise chickens for food, casual activities, for example, Ebola, and also income generation. However, they sell the chickens involuntarily because they continue to give small-sized eggs. They have low hatchability, and they continue. Sorry. But the information on the relationship between parity and the reproductive parameters is not available. Hence, the project was conducted to find out whether the egg size, the number of eggs, and hatchability may be a result of the parity in which the hen is. So the overall objective of this research was to find out the effect of parity on reproductive performance of The overall objective of this research was to find out the effect of parity on the reproductive performance of the indigenous chicken, while the specific objectives were: one, to find out the effect of parity on egg size, to find out the number of eggs laid per clutch, and also to find out the effect of parity on hatchability. So that's a hypothesis that was used in this research. This research was conducted at Sakula Farm, which belongs to the Department of Animal Science, and we used 29 indigenous chickens of parity 1 to 6, including Kameta, Kawangi, Kansilanga, Matikala, and Nomo. And these chickens were housed in that house, and were housed between 4:30 p.m. to 7 o'clock in the morning, and they were supplemented with maize bran ad-lib during ad-lib. The primary data collected included the number of eggs laid per hen per parity, which we collected by simply counting, and the number of chicks hatched. And the size of the eggs was collected using the GFY scale, which measures the eggs on a scale of small to extra large. The secondary data, in this case hatchability, was calculated using that formula, and the data in the end was analyzed using SPSS and SAS. So the general linear model was used to test the effect of parity on eggs, on number of eggs and hatchability, and the means in each category were separated based on the 2K HSD subset method. And the effect of parity on egg size was tested. Egg size, meaning egg weight, was tested using non-parametric analysis of variance based on Crusoe-Waris test. And logistic regression was used to predict the hatchability of an egg. So this is a model that I used, where Y is the effect of parity on those reproductive parameters. Mu is the overall mean. Bi was the random effect of ith parity. P was the random effect of jth parity from parity 1 to 6, and BP was the random interaction of ith chicken and ith parity, while E was the random error. So it was observed that parity had no significant effect on the number of eggs laid. As you can see from the table, the summary shows that the mean number of eggs laid was 9. So this is in line with what Dr. Gondwe and Mwalusanya reported, that indigenous chickens lay about 6 to 28 eggs per hen per clutch. However, the number of eggs laid per clutch was significantly affected by the phenotype. So that table shows how the relationship between phenotype and the number of eggs laid. As you can see, Kamatikala, which gave a mean number of 12 eggs per clutch, was significantly different from normal Kamida and Kawanke. In other words, the means with different superscripts in that table are significantly different, as the p-value is less than 0.05. And parity, it was observed that parity affected egg size, but regardless of parity, we can see that the majority of the eggs that were laid were small, followed by medium, and then the smallest proportion was large. So that simply shows the proportion of egg size categories. These results are in line with Agnesh and Negush, who said that local scavenging hens produce small size eggs. And it was further observed that parity did not significantly affect hatchability, as the p-value was greater than 0.05. As you can see, the overall mean is about 75%. And this table simply shows a summary of the egg size and the respective hatchability. To the left, on egg size, 1 is standing for small, 2 medium, 3 large. So as we can see to the far end on hatchability, 2, which is medium, form the largest proportion of the hatchability. So egg size and phenotype significantly affected hatchability of an egg, as the p-value was less than 0.05. So this table is simply showing is used to predict the probability that an egg would hatch. As we can see, the egg size could be used to predict the hatching of an egg, as the p-value was less than 0.001. And the phenotype was also used to predict the probability that an egg would hatch, while parity had a 50-50 chance of that could be used to predict the probability that an egg would hatch. However, during this project, there are several problems that affected hatchability. For example, predators, some eggs would come and steal the eggs, and also the weather, because some eggs would get rotten. And kingery, as we saw that the medium-sized eggs hatched well, kingery reported that the most influential parameters of hatchability was egg weight. And phenotype did not significantly affect hatchability by brooding, as we can see that the p-value is more than 0.05, and the overall hatchability per phenotype was about 70%. So the average hatchability, which is 70%, goes in line with Dr. Gondwe and Mokes, who concluded that village chickens have excellent incubating ability and have high hatchability percentage. So we can conclude that parity affected egg size, but not the number of eggs laid and hatchability. However, parity influenced the probability that an egg would hatch, and phenotype affected the number of eggs laid and hatchability. So farmers can use some of the reproductive parameters to select indigenous chicken of economical importance under village conditions. My acknowledgements to those people. Thank you for listening.